Hello and welcome back to Stitch Chemistry. In this video, we will look at 8 full skein swatches made with Bernat blanket yarn in the color Harvest. The 8 stitches used for these swatches are single crochet, moss or linen stitch, half double crochet, triple or treble crochet, granny stripes, a classic granny square, and a solid granny square. The swatches in this video were made with a 5.3 ounce skein. If you have a 10.5 ounce skein, the swatches would be approximately double in size. All of these swatches are made with the recommended size 8mm hook. Before we take a look at the individual swatches, here are all 8 full skein swatches together. I did my best to accurately compare the sizes of the swatches, but there might be some errors in my editing, so please note that these are approximate size comparisons, not perfect size comparisons. A few important things to note about this video are that I reuse skeins to make more than one swatch. This yarn doesn't have much stretch, but I want to be transparent that the skeins were reused, so there could be some slight stretching. It's also important to note that tension, project width, and hook size can all affect the way a colorway looks, so these swatches should be considered examples and not exact references for how your project will turn out. Your project may pool in different ways than mine did. There are chapter links in the description of this video if you would like to skip ahead to learn more about a particular swatch. The single crochet full skein swatch has 30 stitches per row, and I used 1 turning chain at the end of every row. This swatch has 31 1/3 rows, and the approximate size of the completed rows is 13.5 by 15 inches or 34 by 38 centimeters. If you look at the bottom left corner of this swatch, you can see a light blue stitch marker. When I make these swatches, I always mark factory knots because they can affect the way a colorway lays, especially if a knot disrupts the color pattern by tying on in a different color. In this colorway, the color sections are very short, and this knot didn't seem to affect the layout, so I continued using the skein for other swatches. The moss or linen stitch swatch also has 30 stitches per row with 1 turning chain. This swatch was 39 1/4 row, and the approximate size of the completed rows was 13 by 18 inches or 33 by 45 centimeters. The half double crochet swatch again has 30 stitches per row and 1 turning chain at the end of every row. This swatch ended up being a single stitch shy of 26 rows, and the approximate size of the completed rows is 13 by 15 inches or 33 by 39 centimeters. The double crochet swatch also has 30 stitches per row, this time with 2 turning chains at the end of every row. This swatch has 17.2 rows, and the approximate size of the completed rows is 15 by 15.5 inches or 38 by 39 centimeters. Triple or treble crochet stitches work up very quickly, but they can leave large gaps between the stitches, which some people don't prefer. So I made this swatch in both the classic triple crochet stitch and the linked triple crochet stitch for those who would like to avoid gaps in their work. The first 7 rows, which are the rows below the blue line, are the classic stitches, and the rows above the blue line are the linked stitches. As you can see, the classic stitches end up being wider than the linked stitches due to the gaps. This swatch has 30 stitches per row. I used 3 turning chains for the classic stitches and 4 turning chains for the linked stitches. Here is a closer look at the two different styles of triple crochet stitches. Classic stitches are on the left and link stitches are on the right. Because this colorway has sections that are incredibly short, each treble crochet stitch uses more than one color. So this would be a great stitch if you wanted to avoid any possible pooling. The Granny Stripe swatch has a base foundation chain of 30 stitches, with 2 turning chains at the end of every row. This swatch is 15.6 rows, and the approximate size of the completed rows are 16 by 14 inches or 41 by 36 centimeters. You can see the light blue stitch marker in the top left corner of this swatch, showing that this is the same skein used for the single crochet swatch. This classic granny square swatch has no chains between clusters. The full skein made 8.3 rows, and the approximate size of the completed rows, which are the rows inside the blue box, are 15 by 15 inches or 38 by 38 centimeters. The full skein solid granny square swatch was 7.8 rows. The approximate size of the completed 7 rows, shown inside the blue box, was 14 by 14 inches or 36 by 36 centimeters. Here are all 8 swatches together one more time. This time I have made the sizes more even so details can be compared more easily. This yarn had very short sections of colors. There is some slight pooling in the form of vertical stripes, but it's possible to avoid pooling with this yarn with some of these stitches. Triple crochet, granny square, and solid granny square should be able to avoid pooling. I would love to know what you think of this colorway. Which stitch swatch is your favorite? Please comment and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.